Welcome back to Crash and Edy. I'm Edy. Crash is with us again.
Hey, Eddie.
What's going
How's it
on,
going, my
buddy?
man? I
We
gotta
got
tell you, I'm not feeling real good. I just downed like a whole bag of Oreos.
good move, man.
Oh man, once I start eating those things, I can't stop. Especially when you got a glass of milk.
Oh, I've been losing it on Christmas cookies lately. Not good, especially late at night when I'm
Yeah, that's
working
so
hard.
exciting. Everything that's going on. I can't believe this. The way the market just took off
Ah,
a couple days ago, and now it's just like consolidating. And there's all this news coming out that's just like mind blowing.
it's nuts, man. It's nuts. Yeah, Bitcoin hit, what did it hit? 23 and a half, roughly?
Yeah, at least, yeah,
Yeah,
killing it.
once it got solidly past 20, it just blew up.
Yeah, pulled back a little bit, but it's just kind of consolidating, I think, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's looking healthy, and the alts are just kind of they rebounded a little bit, and then they're just holding steady, just seeing what's up. So, um, we got
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I'm looking at the 1 day chart for Bitcoin, and it's just like flat,
yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
which is healthy. It's perfect. It's just things are consolidating. We got a
Yeah,
balance between buyers and sellers.
that's what you want to see. And
Yeah.
I think with this market, people always think, oh, buying drives up the market, buying drives up the market. But really, it's the lack of selling, too, that really makes the
Mm-hmm.
market explode. There's no sellers, so the buyers are that much powerful. And
Right.
people don't want to see. I mean, you know what's coming. We're coming another round of printing, bunch of stuff going on with all sorts of stuff. I don't even know what we can mention these days.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention was you familiar with Roofer Investment out of England?
No, actually.
Just, he just announced that they bought $745 million worth of Bitcoin in November. That's $750 million they bought.
Wow. Yeah. That's the thing, and these guys aren't buying it to trade it typically. They're holding it, tucking away, putting it
Uh
in a
huh.
vault.
Yeah.
So it just makes it that much. And of course, it's all over the counter, down on the
Yep.
low.
Yeah, and if you think, okay, so they announced that they're an investment firm. They probably had to put out some report that showed what they had been buying, and so they had to make an announcement. And how many huge companies out there don't have to do that because they're not investment firms, don't have to report it immediately that have been buying all through November and December,
Yeah,
and they're buying it on the OTC, right?
most of them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so there's all this. What's happening is the supply is disappearing.
yeah, and they're looking to. They're not just thinking, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. They're as soon as they're doing it, they're saying, "What else? This stuff sure is
Uh-huh.
expensive. What else is there?"
Yeah, yeah.
So that's coming. It's just
Yeah, they
around the
only announced that they bought Bitcoin. They didn't talk about buying anything else.
yeah, yeah,
They may not have had to expose that yet.
yeah.
But
But
when
it's
you when
coming.
you
It's
when you
a
drop $750 million,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of
yeah.
dough. So it's just the beginning. That's what's remarkable. This is and people compare this to these 4 year. Okay, this is how Bitcoin works over these 4 years. But really, we're moving into a different era now where it's
Yeah, it's
not gonna just
completely.
tank now down to 1,000. I don't see that.
It was some really progressive investors, some real speculators. It was, small people, a few $1 million whales here and there in the
Yeah,
last bull run. Man, now we're talking billions.
yeah, and utility that's just getting started with all these,
Yeah,
including alts.
Yeah.
And we'll see about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. There's some utility stuff I want to talk about, but so we're gonna try and finish up Ethereum, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, CoinMarketCap has come a long way with their explanations on tokens. I don't know if you've noticed that, but and I guess the bigger, the more there is. But
Sure.
one thing, remember last time we were like, well, I think I said he's Russian, you said he's Canadian. Turns out he's Russian Canadian.
Well, he's got a Russian name, but he talks like a Canuck.
Well, I think what happened too is probably born and raised in Russia, understood what his life was gonna be, said, you know what, I'm getting out of here.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to Canada to live and
I
have
don't know.
some
He
freedom.
talks like he's been in Canada a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know when he came over, but yeah, I don't know if he was.
My father's Canadian, so it's like I can pick that up.
I thought you had some Yahoo there in you.
Yeah. Yeah, he was born and raised in Nova Scotia.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Does he still live there?
No, no, no,
No. Okay. Do you go
no.
back there then?
He moved to the U.S. when he was in high school.
Oh, okay. Do you ever go to that area and stuff? Or?
You know, my whole family did when I was in college. Like my folks and my grandparents and aunts and some uncles and cousins and my sister, I think, went. But I
Yeah.
was tied up at college, so I didn't go on that trip. I wish I
Yeah.
would have though, because that's someplace I'd like to visit.
Right. I got you. Yeah. Canada's got a lot to offer. So yeah. So he's Russian Canadian. So some background on Vitalik too is he was scheduled to be an intern at Ripple. Did you ever hear about this?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and he basically there was a problem with his visa or something. Like the company I think had to be around for a year. He had some visa issue.
Hmm.
So he ended up not, but I found I found kind of an interesting article. He was there, I guess, in 2013. But they shared ideas and stuff, and kind of that was
Mm-hmm.
back when it was OpenCoin, too. I think they hadn't started XRP yet. I think it was called OpenCoin.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's what it says there.
yeah, and also Justin's son was there, too.
Uh huh.
So he was buddies with him. What did Schwartz said? Oh, that still saddens me. Think of the great things you might have accomplished. maybe, maybe apply again. We're always looking for a good intern. We're always looking for a good intern.
Yeah, I feel so bad for you. You didn't stay at Ripple.
I know it.
You know, he could have been really successful.
Yeah, right. So,
Ethereum is like huge.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I have some questions about it, but just going through some numbers though.
Hmm.
Um, just going through some back of the envelope math. Um, so they have 113 million coins, right?
Yeah.
They started out with 72.
72 million.
72 million coins back in 2014.
So
So
uh,
each just some
6 years.
fun facts. So there was 8 founders basically. I guess Vitalik kind of took the helm, but
Hmm.
yeah, Charles Hodgkinson was in there, right? The founder of
Hmm.
Cardano. He was
Hmm.
one of them. And so of the 72, they split up 60 million 8 ways, is my understanding. So that's roughly 7.5 million coins. Today's value about 5 bill. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good haul, huh?
Maybe we should start a cryptocurrency.
Crash and Eddie's slippers are looking all the better. Um, but yeah, but my thing is, you know, I was attracted to crypto because, of course, I grew up in the finance where you'd wake up one day and be like, "Oh, this company floated another 5 million shares overnight. Oh, they did another 5 million. They're just cranking it out.
Mm-hmm.
They're diluting the stock, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, that's crypto's cool because you can't just dilute everything, like the
Yeah.
government prints, all that stuff. These
Yeah, but
guys kind of,
Ethereum, the algorithm, they're only allowed to create 2% more coins a year. Like, and that might not be enough to keep them operating smoothly.
well, so run those numbers. If it was 2% a year, it's been more than that, right? Because from 14 to now, 6 years, they created an additional
6.8 million.
a year.
Yes.
So that's more than 2%.
Of 100,000 or 100 million.
Yeah, it'd be 6% if it was even 100. Yeah, so it's just the numbers.
Hmm.
It's interesting, and I see the value with it, but
Yeah, but they're using public school math.
yeah, they must be.
Yeah,
They
they
must be.
calculate it 10 different ways, and whichever one makes the most sense to them, and they use that method.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of my. It's like they. I know they have built in, and it's going to be better than the government. Which
Oh God.
what's
I
the
don't even know how to calculate that because
what
there's
did they say though? Like
never been an audit.
30% of our cash printed has been printed in 2020 or something like that, man. I mean, it's a lot. So it's going to be
Well,
more.
that's why the stock market's up so high. I mean, they're just doesn't matter who's in there. They're just going to print more money because they know there's going to be everything's shifting. It's just they're just spending like drunken sailors to. Um,
Yeah. So yeah, let's not get off on that tangent.
yeah.
That's a show. That's many shows. So yeah, so there's those numbers, but basically the bottom line is they have kind of a capped inflation of, they say, around 2%.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I mean, what people don't realize is there's utility with these. It's not just like a stock certificate. So people are holding these and using them. Like when you stake Ethereum, that takes some kind of, they're known as being out there, right? But they're
Yeah.
actually not out there because they're being held. So they're not
Well,
actually in
yeah, and
exchanges.
everybody's talking about ETH is going to just explode because they're coming out with ETH 2.0, and right now they have $1 billion worth of ETH locked up in staking to kick off Ethereum 2, ETH 2.0.
Right.
So
Right.
right there, I mean, there's a huge chunk being held that can't be traded or moved or done anything with.
Yeah. So the staking numbers are interesting because I guess you have to have 32 Ethereum to stake, right?
Yeah.
So that's roughly 18 to 20,000 right now.
Hmm.
And then you get like $2 a day or whatever. You run the math, it's about 5%. It's about
Hmm.
5% to have all that locked up. So it's kind of interesting. I
Yeah.
mean,
But however, you're still getting your value. I mean, if the value goes up,
that's true. Yeah.
you still own
Yeah.
your tokens. So
Yeah. That's the kicker with
the
all this
5% is
staking.
going to be chump change compared to locking up $1 billion. Well, they have to lock up 2 billion to let it run.
Yeah.
I think they need 2 billion staked.
It's a certain amount of tokens, though, right? 2 billion
I'm
is a.
sorry, it's 2 million tokens, and they're at 1.5 million now. So there's another um, half of half a million tokens that need to be staked.
And what is this for? Because I thought that was, they cleared that December 1st. That's even what that video says.
Well,
Some
why would
people,
be are people still staking
yeah,
on top of
they're
what they was
staking
required?
now. They're staking now, Ethereum. Yeah, Yeah, I think they passed what they needed to pass.
Okay, I see a red line down there. That must be the 500,000 ETH to launch. Yeah, that was November. Well, yeah, they were well over that then.
Yeah, yeah, they're out and running. Well, so we got one video with this. Okay, it's on Ethereum, and this. Listen to this explainer video. We're gonna play a little bit of it, but 2.0 has just gotten started. They call it Serenity. Most people are calling it Ethereum 2.0, but it's not like stamped out. Okay, we're on 2.0. They've just begun this. So here's a little bit of what the process is.
Into multiple phases. Phase 0 is the first phase of shipping ETH2 that focuses on launching the beacon chain. To achieve this, a threshold of 16,384 validators has to be reached. The required amount of validators was reached on the 24th of November, which allows Phase 0 to be launched on the earliest possible date, the 1st of December 2020. The next phase, Phase 1, focuses on sharding, or to be specific, data sharding that we described earlier. Once Phase 1 is established, next up is Phase 1.5 that focuses on docking, making the current Ethereum chain one of the shards in ETH2. It looks like both Phase 1 and Phase 1.5 will be delivered as early as 2021. After Phase 1.5 is reached, there are two possible scenarios. Either the combination of data sharding and rollups will be enough and there is no need for further phases, or maybe there will still be a need for the full sharding solution, which would bring us to the final phase, Phase 2. This will remain to be seen after Phase 1.5 is successfully completed.
So, yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, it's in phases. It's going to take some time, and that's good.
Yeah, it's going to take some time.
I think each time they pass a phase, there's going to be another jump in the price, showing that they're getting closer and closer and more closer to proof of stake, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the thing too, is getting to proof of stake. I mean, all this is kind of leading to full proof of stake versus proof of work. So it's complicated and it's a major project, and there's still unknowns. I mean, I don't the proof that they can scale this thing for instance for DeFi is it's a ways away. It's not proven that it can do that. So, but this space is so big that you're going to have multiple DeFi players. I personally think that these layer 2 solutions that are coming out are going to beat them to the punch as far as DeFi is concerned. There's too much demand for it, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're going to be there too. So, when it's trillions a day, there's plenty of room, So that'll be interesting to watch that unfold. And, predictions for the price. I mean, what predictions have you heard for the price of Ether?
Yeah, I've heard by the end of 2021, anything from 50,000 a Bitcoin to 500,000. It's very broad. I think I think it's going to be much closer.
I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. For Ethereum, well, almost the same thing. I mean, it's at what 645 right now. I'm hearing definitely over 1,000 maybe this year yet.
Right.
And anywhere it could hit 10,000 by the end of 2021.
Yeah, I've heard 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. I don't know the time frame, but and that leads us to, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only and a little bit of education. But don't do anything we're talking about. We're not telling you what to do. Do your own research.
Yeah, we're just talking about Ethereum today and trying to help people get a grasp on something that's really pretty complicated if you're not in the coding world.
Yeah, we just want to educate you a little bit, right? So, yeah, so that's kind of the tokenomics. They're interesting. I question some things. I like tokens that have a finite amount that don't build in inflation, but
Mm-hmm.
hard to question Ethereum too with how successful they've been. So, and they have a deep backing. Is it the Ethereum Foundation? Is that they have a gosh, we need to do a third show on Ethereum. Crash.
Well,
We're not doing that. We're not
no,
doing it.
we're not doing it.
But we're not going to cover everything in this. You guys have to do your own research and understand what you're getting into. But we'll say it's one of the largest tokens. It's one of the original ones, so it's got a lot of backing and
There's just so many DApps running on it. And what did I count on? Let me see if I can pull that up again. How many ERC20 tokens there are?
yeah, you said there was like 1,300 or something. So Crash is going to now list those for us. Okay, go.
Oh, shoot, I hit the wrong button.
Well, one thing, so some of the interesting ones, I guess Binance Coin is a ERC20 token. And that kind of figures because that region of the world is the king of knocking off technology. That's what they do. So it just figures they'd take one of Ethereum's tokens.
Yeah, who's that?
Binance Coin.
Oh, Binance, yeah.
Binance is, yeah. Chainlink
Well,
we talked about is.
Yeah, the largest market cap one is Chainlink.
Yeah, Chainlink by far. A lot of them, they went through a stage where most of your coins coming out were ERC20s because they were just fast and easy to do and it worked. So nowadays you're getting more native tokens where it's their own token, and USDC is interesting. That's another one that is ERC20, but they just came out with an algo coin too. It's basically built on the algo blockchain. So that is not an ERC20. I think in general, people eventually, if they're big enough coins, if it's a big enough project, they're going to get on their own blockchain, really, and be able to control their own destiny. That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So,
Trying to think where I found something, and there it is. Okay, I got my list back up again.
you find any other big ones that are?
Well, Yearn Finance. Did you mention that?
Oh, is it? Okay.
That's number 3. The Wrap Bitcoin is number 2 at market cap of
That's right.
2.7, 2.8 billion.
Right. Wrap Bitcoin is
Number 5, one of my favorites, Crypto.com, Crowcoin.
Is that ERC20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
Did I talk about that last week? How there's 3 things that are going to be pushing that coin up, and it's way, way, way down right now.
Yeah, that has not there. Although 12% in the last 7 days.
Yeah. Well, it's got a long way to go up.
Yeah. But a lot of utility with that. We gotta. That's why we can't do too much on Ethereum, because there's just too much to cover in this space. There just is. I mean, we should be doing a show every day, but we have day jobs, so we can't do that.
Yeah, what else you finding in the news?
Well, are we done with Ethereum?
No.
Crash, what's up, man? Let's wrap this up.
How do you wrap up Ethereum?
Oh, what else did we have here?
Where can you buy Ethereum? Virtually any exchange,
Yeah.
any platform, it's sold everywhere.
That too is one of those coins where, like Bitcoin, a lot of your entrance into or your trading back and forth from exchanges or whatever is going to go through Ethereum. So it's kind of like they call that a base pair, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of base pairs. Is whatever token you're doing, or eventually currency versus Ethereum.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like on Bittrex, which I used to use quite a bit. There was a lot of tokens that I could only buy with Ethereum. So
Right.
I'd have to buy Ethereum so I could go in and sell the Ethereum to pay for other tokens.
Right. Or remember back in the day to be like, well, I'm going to use Ethereum because I know it'll work so much faster than Bitcoin. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was just a speed issue. You'd know. I mean, it was like night and day moving Ethereum versus Bitcoin anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I remember transitioning over to that. But then it was like, oh boy, if I do anything, there's like all these gas fees and stuff, and that hacked me off. It's like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah. There's pros and cons to all this stuff. It's,
Yeah.
you just got to figure it out.
So, yeah, so let's see here. Wanted to go to Ethereum website though real quick. Here.
What page on?
That's just on the top crypto page. So this is their website. We have got tech issues coming out of our ears. So I just wanted to go to their website and just take a look around. It's interesting. It's deep. There's a lot of, you can also history of Ethereum. They got their white paper in there. They explain 2.0. It's if you're going to get into Ethereum in any way, go to their website and dig around because it's where you're going to get probably the most knowledge, really.
Yeah, if you're addicted to sleeping pills, you can just print that white paper and you can stop taking the sleeping pills and it'll knock you out.
Right. So yeah, the Ethereum Foundation. Let's see if they have. I was looking because I heard the backing in these. I mean, it's just outstanding. But then I was digging around. It's like I couldn't get too far, so forget that. Yeah, so check out Ethereum on their website. I don't know. I don't have too much more. I wanted to kind of just get into. I mean, we could get into sharding. We could get into some tierigs.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's what we want to talk about. That's too technical. I don't even know that's much about that stuff.
I know, but you should, Crash. Got it, man. I brought you in because I thought you were a sharding expert somewhat. I heard that.
Let me go to my cryptocurrency dictionary and look that word.
You know what? We'll get into sharding. We'll get into these coins aren't going away, especially these bigger ones. So we're gonna hit on them from show to show. You'll hear about it. So
did you see that the Bitcoin strategist Pierre Ricard from Kraken? He said that Bitcoin will see an explosion in corporations, in corporate interest in 2021. He expects half of the world's Fortune 500 companies to own Bitcoin in their treasury by the end of 2021.
Wow, that's
half.
And
you know what? If he's predicting that, that's the Fortune 500. Now there's going to be, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of other corporations smaller than the Fortune 500 that are going to be dumping money in too.
You know what, Crash? You are going to
And
be assessed as a company
yeah,
on what you're doing with crypto. That's where this is going.
mm-hmm.
And they're going to be raising an eyebrow. Oh, so you've got nothing to do with, you didn't even buy a little Bitcoin. You have nothing to do with crypto.
Yeah. I think we need a new chairman of the board.
We're going to need you to leave.
Yeah.
I swear,
Yeah,
man.
you totally missed the ball, buddy.
Even though everyone and their brother was telling you, oh, don't touch that stuff. It's too risky. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Our biggest competitor just put in a hostile takeover just on what they made with the Bitcoin that you didn't buy.
Right. Yeah, so, all right. So you want to hit anything else on Ethereum, or we're moving on here, Crash?
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. We can always bounce back to Ethereum anytime.
Yeah, we'll hit it here and there because they're going to do some. They're going to be in the news constantly. All the big ones are. So,
yeah,
that's a good point. So let's get into some news items. Well, one of the biggest things. Well, are you up on this Kraken exchange that they're going to integrate Bitcoin's Lightning Network? Are you up on the Lightning Network? What do you think of that? It's crap. Just say it. It's crap.
I think there's probably some bugs they're going to have to work out of it, but I think it'll be all right. I think it's going to be a lot better than what they're, with the speed that they're operating at now.
That's true. So how it works, though, is you have to stake Bitcoin to use it. And you have to set up each sort of relationship, is my understanding. So,
you kidding me? Another thing that's going to drive supply down. Another thing to drive the market. It's going to drive the price up again.
Yeah.
You just what you just told me is going to drive Bitcoin even higher and higher and higher.
And that's the nature of this space. Everything, when you look at it, it's like the opposite of traditional finance. It's like the polar opposite. It's designed for stuff to go up in value. And of course, part of that is the dollars and the fiats are going down in value. So it takes more, whether you're any asset you're buying, it takes more dollars to do it because they're going down in value. Because they're printing.
Which will be good, yeah. Well, that'll be good for our export. It's going to be good for our manufacturing, which is important right now going into this period.
Yeah. So the Lightning Network's getting set up, but from a tech perspective, I mean, there's so many ways to move money that's cheap. I mean, it's nothing compared to XRP, and it's easier to set up. But like you said, I mean, if they're going to go forward with it, all it's going to do is soak up more Bitcoin and drive prices up. So it's a good thing either way,
Yeah, I like it.
And then the other thing that was huge is the Coinbase IPO.
Yeah, that's something else.
So
$1 billion IPO.
Honestly, though, think about it now. You're buying that IPO, right? I mean, wouldn't you say it's better to just buy crypto than go into an IPO? But people are going to do it, and it's great for the space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, they also want controlling some, a lot of these players want controlling interest, too.
Yeah.
And saying what's happening there.
Boy, if it can help
this could be brilliant for Coinbase, or it could be turned into a complete debacle.
It's going to be good, though. And reason being is they desperately need money to expand their network. I mean, they just, when volumes are heavy, I don't know if you've experienced it, but they simply cannot handle the traffic. There's just no way.
No.
They can't do it. Everything's delayed. I mean, it almost looks suspicious a little bit because as soon as Bitcoin starts taking off, hey, we're down. You can't sell it. You can't buy it. We're down.
Yep.
So it's kind of interesting, but
I don't know, man. I got to be careful what I say about Coinbase.
Yeah, it's, you know what? They need to do this. This is something they need to do because they have to pour money into tech. They just do. They got to pour money into tech if they're going to seriously be what they are. Being in the tech space, though, it's hard. It's hard dealing with volume and doing what they're doing. And they're not just a U.S. company; they're global. So
Yeah, and Coinbase, they're going to be the first real cryptocurrency company that's going to be competing in the major financial markets. Um, they're going to be a new Fidelity,
yeah, right.
and they're going to be the first ones in
As an IPO,
listed in the traditional markets.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad they announced it now because it's just going to be the floodgates are going to be open next year for IPOs, man. And I'm sure
Everywhere
Ripple's,
you look, the floodgates are opening.
yeah,
Every
right. But I
direction,
mean for
every
this
direction.
space, for the
This is
crypto
just
space.
another one. It's like I can't imagine another 3 or 4 floodgates that we've never even contemplated opening up to dumping into this market. It's going to be
Oh,
just
for the crypto space, yeah,
yeah.
accelerants. I mean, it is. It's nuts, man. It's
You
like
got,
a
you got
perfect.
corporate money, you got institutional money, you got government money, you got IPOs and all this other. Oh, it's
I
just
know that's going to be the driver too next year. It's going to be. It's been corporates now. They're talking about it, and you hear a little bit about governments, but next year it's going to be governments just panicking. Hey, we got to get into crypto, get all of our stuff on the blockchain.
yeah, I'm waiting. I bet you there's in the planning CNBC bit
Probably. Yeah,
channel
it's
dedicated only to cryptocurrencies. I bet it's in the planning.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's just yeah. It is. You're right though, man. I mean, there are so many accelerants with this thing just pushing this forward, and it's not by fluke. This isn't just happenstance. This is by design. This is gonna bail out the globe of the Federal Reserve System. That's what it's gonna do.
I hope so.
I think. I mean,
I, I think I hope so. I don't know.
yeah, that's yeah. You'd have to talk about the other side of the sword there,
Yeah,
because
I'm
that's
not going there.
yeah. Let's not go there now. Um. Anyways, Brian Brooks just came out.
Yeah, you said something about that. Tell me what he said.
I guess there was a leader. He's concerned, and this is interesting. I mean, he's
Well,
out
just
there.
real quick, just to remind our listeners who Brian Brooks is.
So Brian Brooks heads up the OCC, the
That's
Office of the Comptroller of Currency. He's
mm-hmm.
Mnuchin's right hand guy, and he was just nominated for another 5 years, but basically he's concerned. I mean, he just did a CNBC interview, I think today, but he's like, I can't speak to specific price movement, but I'll tell you what I'm worried about. All of this is happening in an environment where we're about to have a change in of presidential administrations, and there's calls on Capitol Hill to dismantle some of the regulatory protections we put in place with this stuff. So they've gotten a lot of work done, and Congress and the other side, they want to put a stop to it, man. They want to just slow things down because they know what's happening, man. I mean, but you're not getting around it.
In the United States, though, it's a global phenomena,
That's
and
right.
if we aren't leading, we're going to get our butts cleaned.
Yeah. And we think that we can control the world, and we can't do it. So you have to work within this system. I think it's wise to just,
Yeah, you
you
start
know,
you start regulating. Money's going to flow out of the United States into other exchanges and other markets that are not don't have the regulation.
not only that, it's not really even feasible to put some of these regulations in place. Like they've talked about the wallets, putting a, KYCing every wallet. How would you even do that? How do you even? You'd have to. These are owned by people, and it's like it's very difficult. Easy to say.
It would have to be a very totalitarian government to crack
Yes.
down, and they would be coming in people's homes and getting on their computers or taking their computers to see if they have wallets on there, and if they're not telling the truth and they're not volunteering what they have,
You die, basically.
severe consequences.
Yeah, and it's like,
Line.
China's tried to do that. I mean, they've tried to put a stop to Bitcoin. I think they realized, man, we can't stop this. Let's start mining it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do as much as we can to own all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're gonna do some stuff, but he brings up your gal Maxine Waters in this too.
Oh, I love her.
He says we politicize it by undoing all the good work this administration has done to make it safer, to make it more real. If we do those things, as an example, Chairman Maxine Waters' letter recently suggested, then I'm not sure if we have enough of a foundation to move forward here. So it's about consolidating regulatory gains and consumer protections that we've tried to put in place. So he's
trying to do the right thing, I think.
Yeah,
I really
he
do.
is.
I mean, and there's really no really good answers, but um,
No.
let the other side get a hold of this, and it's going to be a mess.
The good answer was the best move he could do is say, hey, banks, you can hold cryptos now. And then banks are going to go after it.
Yeah.
They're going to do it, and a lot of people are going to want to do it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a pain to hold your own crypto. It really is, and it can be scary at times too. If people are putting, hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto, they're going to want institutions to hold it. You've already seen that.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
So they'll get their piece of the pie.
How many different ways do you hold cryptocurrencies?
I don't have any, but my friends have said that they hold them a lot of different ways.
Yeah, my friends too.
They use the ledger. They use various wallets, exchanges. It's diversifying through how you hold it. I mean, that seems to be the key to success.
I know some people, they have they have it on platforms where they can like operate on a daily basis with cryptos, and then they have some of their assets on wallets on their computer that are pretty secure.
Yeah.
And then also, like you have is it a Trezor or Ledger?
Trezor's a hard wallet.
Right.
I haven't had any
like
experience
Ledger,
with that.
right? Yeah.
Ledger is a hard wallet too. That's probably the most.
Those two are the most common.
Yeah, the most common.
And basically, it's a flash drive. It's a digital flash drive with security measures on it, and you download your cryptocurrency onto it, and you put it in your safe, and it can't be touched until it gets connected back up to a computer.
Right. Yeah, and there's always confusion. Let's clarify this for the newbies out there, because you're never holding your crypto. You're holding keys to your crypto. Your crypto is always on the blockchain floating around out there. But whoever controls the keys controls the crypto. So these different devices, these wallets, an exchange, if you give your crypto to a bank or an exchange, they now control your crypto. Just like they control your bank account if you have a bank with them, So that's the idea. It's just that crypto, you never hold physical coins. You have just basically keys to them and access to them. And if you give that away, that's why it's so critical. If you give it away, that's your own fault. And a lot of people have lost their crypto in numerous ways because they lost their keys, or they, someone got hacked in or got their keys. And that's That's the thing about it. I mean, you want to be careful, and that's why a lot of people, like, they're older, they have a ton of wealth. They're going to want institutions to have it, and control it, and then
Didn't
hold them liable for it.
Hey, Eddie, didn't a lot of people like when Bitcoin was worth pennies, their computer crashed or hard drive crashed or something, and they're like, oh, it's going to cost me $100 to fix this, or I'm just going to throw it away because I only got 20 cents worth of Bitcoin. And there's
Right. Yeah,
hard
you
drives
heard
sitting
about
out there
that.
that have 1,500 or Bitcoin on them.
Yeah, we did. We heard a lot about that. There's people that just thought, and all the cryptos really. I mean, there's a certain amount whatever number they have, shave off a certain percentage because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yep, because people's computers crashed and they didn't know how to get it off of there, and it was just you had to be a real techie back then to manage this stuff.
Right, or they just got lost. It just disappeared. I know one guy from BNY Mellon. He was like a founder very early into XRP. I
Mm-hmm.
think he had like 1.8 billion lost.
Wow.
I think he died unexpectedly, and it was just gone. No, he didn't. He didn't
No,
leave keys to anyone, and it's
yeah,
just gone.
nobody could find the keys.
Right. So it's interesting. That's it. That's out there. So, anyways, what else do we got? Yeah, we got the lightning. Yeah. This one other thing that's kind of interesting. The U.S. So this is now they come out with this today, and it kind of alludes to they're thinking of different ways that they can regulate, and that's what they got to figure out. U.S. Treasury to hire crypto police officers to combat industry crimes. So, they're trying to find different ways. These guys are going to make anywhere from 102 to 157 a year working with FinCEN, and tracking down different crimes for crypto. So that, I mean,
Well, there are crypto can be used in crime syndicates. I'm sure it's point zero fractions of what fiat currency is used in crime, but it can be done.
right. But it's a way now like this. That's good. I mean, they're finding ways to. It's a type of regulation, a type of policing that pretty much have to do just like with anything, So
Yeah, and as the economy and dollars shift from fiat to digital currencies, there's going to be more and more um, criminal use of it because it's just the nature of the beast. However, it's going to be easier to track, probably.
yeah. Well, it's all trackable. You're not. It's well, you're gonna get into some coins that aren't as trackable, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the latest. Gets you up to speed. The market is rolling. Um, there's a lot going on in the space. It's all kind of following Bitcoin right now, back above 23,000. I see. So stuff's
Mm-hmm.
starting to heat up again, and I don't think it's gonna go away. I hate the term alt season because I hate the whole Bitcoin alt, but it is kind of it's true still. So, I do think
When you look at the market cap, I mean, of Bitcoin versus all the rest of them.
it's true. It is true. You can't deny it. I think that's going to change one day, but right now, I mean, it's interesting, and they're trying to get Bitcoin to get away from the whole store value thing and be more usable, like with the Lightning Network. That's actually a use case for it, but
Mhm.
there's other tokens that are better for it. So I think it's gonna fall into it's a great store of value. But it's amazing the heavy hitters that are coming out now and saying, boy, 400,000 a coin seems still undervalued. I mean,
Yep.
and if Bitcoin goes to that, I mean, these other tokens, depending on their use case, they're going to be very valuable. So it's fascinating times.
Yeah, and I think Morgan Stanley came out and they said the head of their digital asset marketing said that DeFi is poised to keep its momentum throughout 2021.
Yeah.
It
Oh, it's
doesn't
just getting
surprise me at
started.
all. I mean, DeFi is going to be huge. It's just
Yeah. It's just getting started. And how many times have you had, like in your banking life, how it is just so archaic the way stuff happens now, and like in the brokerage business, I think it's still 2 day settlement if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they ever got below. I know when I was in the business, we
hmm
went from 5 day down to 3 day and ended up at 2 day, and it really couldn't get past 2 day because of how money settles.
hmm
But that's history, man. It's going to be instant settlement, and all your funds flowing around are going to be instant, and they're going to need that. It's interesting how stuff's tied together because they need inflation. I mean, there's deflation now in a lot of areas, and it's like, and the reason it is because money's not moving. Well, guess what? Money moves really, really fast. Crypto, you know, huh,
Yep.
it's another solution.
Boy, look at that screen. It's all green.
Yeah, it's turning. Maybe the weekend's gonna be
Hot,
interesting.
hot, hot,
Yeah.
hot. So
So next coin, guess what we're doing, Crash?
I don't know if we should do a coin next week.
No,
Maybe
well,
on
next
Friday.
show, next show we're not gonna do a coin. We gotta take. I mean, we do so much research on these coins, people, right, Crash? I mean, you gotta be exhausted, man.
Oh, I haven't slept in days.
I mean,
That's
it's
why, why I ate a whole bag of Oreos.
the stuff we had to dig out for Ethereum. And again, we didn't cover everything. We'll keep talking about them. They're gonna be in the news. We'll be talking about Ethereum for you Ethereum heads out there.
Uh-huh.
So think that's it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, share it in any social media. Help us get going. It supports the channel. And we're going to keep covering coins here and there and giving you good information, sharing good tools with you to work through this change in financial systems that we're clearly going through. Don't think we're not. You can avoid it, but you're probably best to just embrace it and control your own destiny, right?
That's right.
So,
Yeah, just in case I don't make the next broadcast, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and um, hope everybody has a wonderful time with their families and that they don't live in fear but live in joy.
yep. Have a good Christmas, everyone. I will make the next broadcast, so don't worry about that.
Merry
Man, now Crash is actually setting us up.
Merry,
Setting us up, man.
Merry,
Just in case
Merry
I'm at the
Christmas, Eddie.
bars.
Eddie, Merry Christmas to you and your dogs and your rabbits and your chickens.
We'll be talking before that. Don't worry, Crash. All right. That's it, folks. Signing out. Have a good one. See ya. Crash.
Hey, dude.
Come on, man. You uploaded a Chinese video. I mean, you know that our audience is mostly English speaking, right?
What are you talking about? I think my computer got hacked. How did what Chinese video are you talking about?
The one that you put in there. I saw it.
I didn't put that in there.
Quit playing games.
It's Japanese anyways, it's not Chinese.
And so now you're not going to be on the next show, right?
Well, there's a chance I might have something I got to do.
Health issues? Hopefully not health issues
No.
again.
No, her name's Trixie.